Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, remember we talked in the past about that when price of food and the prices of those things that you need to live continually go up and they eat up a certain percentage of your income. In this case, it's about 40% or so, that people start to get very upset and they do things that they normally wouldn't do because now they're having to work harder for less. Well, here a state of emergency was declared in Kazakhstan's largest city after fuel price riots, and their internet was cut. That's one of the tools that governments have now, ladies and gentlemen, in order to restrict the way that we can communicate with each other, is to cut off the internet. But this is why, ladies and gentlemen, these people are rioting. It's because the things that they need in order to live now cost them more of their labor in order to get. And it's getting to the point where they are like, what am I even working for? You know, and it never helps that those that are in power, either elected or by edict, it never helps that they're always well fed, well cared for, and have everything they need, while the average people are losing everything through the inferno of what I like to call inflation. Large-scale protests in Kazakhstan are growing more fierce by the day, with video emerging from major cities showing police vehicles being attacked and set on fire, as authorities try to clamp down on a third consecutive day of rage against a sudden rise in fuel prices after authorities lifted price caps on liquefied petroleum and gas. Now, there's a couple of things that I would say about here. Remember whenever I tell you that whatever the government giveth, it can taketh away? Well, the government in this case, in Kazakhstan, they were subsidizing the fuel prices by keeping them at a certain level. Remember what we talked about, price controls, not too long ago? Well, when they set that ceiling or they set that price control on what they were charging for fuel, they didn't realize that eventually they could not leave that price control on there forever. But the people want the cheaper fuel, but the government can't give them the cheaper fuel. So they are forced to take the price control off. So be careful what you wish for, ladies and gentlemen, when you ask anything of government, because whatever they give you, they can take away. And more importantly, whatever they give you, they've taken from someone else. In what marks a very rare example of mass public dissent in the former Soviet Republic, which has one-party rule, protests which erupted last weekend centered in the oil-rich western Mangistau region have now spread across multiple towns and cities, including several oil-producing hubs. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that we can learn from, and I want to go ahead and take you to a quick page here. The cost of riots and the price of food. And I'll only read the first two small paragraphs here. What causes riots? That's not a question you would expect to have a simple answer. But today, Marco Laghi and buddies at the New England Complex Systems Institute in Cambridge say they've found a single factor that seems to trigger riots around the world. What would you think that is, ladies and gentlemen? This single factor is the price of food. Laghi and company say that when it rises above a certain threshold, social unrest sweeps the planet. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what's eventually going to happen here in the U.S. It doesn't matter how many boomsticks the government has. They have absolutely nothing compared to the amount of people that are here and the amount of people, in my opinion, that are going to be very angry, just like these. Here's a different article from Kazakhstan that was published today. Kazakh protesters storm and torch government buildings. Shots fired after the cabinet resigns. Despite an attempt to impose a strict curfew on Kazakhstan's largest city overnight and a state of emergency across all locales hit by unrest, protesters are reportedly storming government buildings in Almaty, as chaos continues on the streets amid clashes with police. Now in the fourth day of angry crowds raging against a dramatic hike in gas prices after government-imposed caps were lifted on liquefied petroleum gas on Saturday, which meant prices at the pump immediately more than doubled and tripled in some places. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Our gas prices here in the U.S., I think in the last year and a half, have probably about doubled. Now imagine if tomorrow you got up and gas prices had doubled again overnight, or maybe even tripled. That's what these people are going through, and that's why they're so angry. And that's why I am such an advocate of you being prepared. Put yourself in a position, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you are not of the preparedness mindset. Put yourself in a position in your mind where you don't have but 2 or 3 days worth of food. And food stuff runs out in the supermarket because there is some kind of a systemic crisis. It doesn't matter what it is. And you have no food after 3 days. And you can't get food. All right? All of your friends that have been telling you to prepare for the years past are telling you, hey, listen, we try to tell you to prepare. But instead, you went to Disney World. You went to the Epcot Center. You took vacations all around the world. You went on cruises. You bought those new cars every other year or every 4 years. And you didn't spend 1 penny on prepping. I cannot help you. What are you going to tell your family when you can't feed them? But AP, that's never going to happen in the United States of America. Or AP, that's never going to happen in the fill in your blank. Fill in your country blank. That's never going to happen. It's never happened before. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called recency bias. Because you've never seen it happen in your lifetime. And if you think it's never going to happen in your country because maybe it never has in the history of your nation, then that's called normalcy bias. Thinking that something cannot happen just because it's never happened to you or where you live. So prepare, ladies and gentlemen, because this will be coming to a city near you. It will. And if not in protests and riots and things like that, then definitely in the price of things going up substantially, where you will probably one day have to work a full day in order to just get by. Not to have anything left over after the end of the week or the end of the month, but just to get by. And what kind of life would that be? So prepare, ladies and gentlemen, in every way that you can possibly prep. Other than that, I hope that you have a great day today. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm an Ask Prepper. I'm out.
Nutrient Survival now offers what is called a pantry bag. And although you have an option of packaging now, the product inside of the number 10 cans and inside of these pantry bags are exactly the same. It's just a different packaging. So why did Nutrient Survival decide to go with a different packaging? Well, for a couple of reasons. These pantry bags are specifically for those of us who eat Nutrient Survival on a regular basis. They are still able to be stored for long term, but since the pantry bags are constructed of a thick mylar material and not metal, the shelf life for the pantry bags is 15 years instead of the 25-year shelf life that the number 10 cans offer. Now here is where the money savings comes in, ladies and gentlemen. In order to promote this new item, Nutrient Survival has put together a bundle that they call the 2-week Jumpstart Kit. This kit includes a triple mac cheese, hearty lasagna, southwestern medley, hearty apple cinnamon oatmeal, creamy chocolate shake, maple almond grain crunch, and the peanut butter bars, which are included at no cost with this bundle. After doing some math, if you were to purchase this exact same kit at the same price that you would pay for the number 10 cans, you would be paying about $25 more for the same amount of servings of all of the products offered in this kit. So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, if you were to buy the exact same amount of product, the number 10 cans, you'd be paying about $25 more. And not only are you saving $25 by purchasing the pantry bags, but since Nutrient Survival is giving away the peanut butter bars with this purchase, you save an additional $35 for a total of $60. And we can't forget about my AP10 code, ladies and gentlemen. If you use my link combined with the AP10 code at checkout, you will save an additional 10% or $26 off your purchase price for a total of $86 in savings. I think that's awesome. And that equals to about 29% in savings should you compare it to buying number 10 cans, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you take advantage of this awesome savings because this is a great savings.
So whether you're digging in or bugging out, you don't just survive an emergency situation, you thrive in it. Nutrient Survival. Feed your freedom.